We're potting sweet peas today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and Darlac. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, today I'm going to show you how to pot these sweet pea seedlings. And we sowed these last October in the greenhouse. They've overwintered in here with no heat, and we've got some nice sturdy seedlings. And I did them two ways. One was direct sowing several seeds into this small 3.5-inch pot, and the other way was to sow them individually into this 12 pack, and we put one seed per cell, and both have done very well. And there's still loads of time to sow sweet peas. If you haven't already done it, don't think you're too late, because here we are in February. We've still got right really until the end of March, even early April, to sow them. And if you want to know how to sow them, you can find the video that we did on YouTube. All you need to do is search for Pots and Trowels and you'll find out exactly how to sow your sweet peas. It's the same principle whether you're sowing in the autumn or in the spring. And if you like the page, like it as a favourite, subscribe for free, and then you'll get notifications of all the videos we do in the future. So here we are. What we need to do now with these is put them in individual pots. If we were to leave them in this pot all together, by the time these are planted out in the garden, which is going to be another 6 or 7 weeks, they're going to be too tall and leggy. So they're going to have an individual pot so they make really good plants. So what I'm going to do is knock them out of this pot, and you can see here they've already got a really healthy root system. An indication of a healthy roots are when they're white like this, and we can see that now the days are getting longer, these are wanting to grow and they're making some nice new roots on there. So you've got to break them up. There's only one way to do it, and I normally just give them a couple of taps on the bench, and then it's just a case of getting your fingers in and just teasing them out like that. So there's 1, 2. You're going to break the odd root, but they recover so quickly. 3, 4, 5, 6. So one's a bit smaller, but they're fine. You can see really healthy seedlings. What we did do in the autumn, we pinched out the growing tip, which, as you can see there, and they've already now started to make some side shoots. So by the time these get in a bit of fresh compost, they're going to make really strong plants. So I've got a multi-purpose compost here, nice and friable. So we're going to hold one of the sweet peas. I'm going to put it so that we want them to be a little bit deeper rather than shallow. That's where they were growing before. So hold them roughly in the position you want. And then it's just a case, giving them a bit of a shake, filter some compost around, and then just use your fingers, just only a very light, firm, just to hold them in the centre more than anything. And that is it. And these will be potted now. They'll be watered, just to settle the roots, and then they'll stay in here in the greenhouse. There's no heat in here at the moment, and then I'll give these probably another month in the greenhouse, and then they can go outside, and that will just acclimatise them to outdoor conditions. Although it's cool in here because there's no heat, they do get some protection, especially on warm days. So what we need to do before they are planted out into the garden, usually around the end of March, early May time, is just to harden them off, is what we call the process. And that, as I say, acclimatises them, and then by then we'll have really strong bushy plants. Each one of these will have filled the pot with roots, and the bigger the root system, the stronger the plant will be, and the more flowers we get. And that's, at the end of the day, what it's all about, flowers. So there we have it, 6 of them potted. Put the label in to remind us what variety it is. And then one final thing, I will water them, but I've got some little sticks that I've just clipped off a shrub in the garden because they're going to flop about. So these are just some prunings off a shrub, and all that does, it just gives them that little bit of support. As the tendrils grow, it gives them something to cling on to, and they'll stay nice and upright instead of flopping all over the place onto each other. So that's it. If you've got some that need potting, now is a good time to do it. Otherwise, if you haven't, you've still got time to buy a packet of seed, get them in, and you'll enjoy beautiful sweet peas from mid-June right the way through until September. And finally, Just a quick mention of the ones that we've got here in these individual cell trays. These aren't going to be potted up into a larger pot. You could if you wanted to, but these will have, I think, just about enough compost as long as we give them a feed, and these will probably be given an occasional liquid seaweed feed just to keep them healthy, nice and green. And then by the time we plant them out, they'll have made a really strong root system anyway. So I'm going to leave these as they are. They've been potted, and it will be interesting to see later on the year if there is any difference between them. Thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and of course we'll be back again with you next week, so we'll see you then. Bye.